our latest preaching series, we've been looking at what we call going over the wall. And what that means is how to live as a Christian the rest of the time that we're not in this building. The rest of the time where the rubber hits the road, as they say. The time when we're not cocooned, because church should be a bit of a cocoon. Church should be a time that we can refresh, that we can be ourselves, that we can worship God freely, that we can talk to people without risk of someone laughing or saying, "You what? How can you believe that?" Church meeting together should be an oasis in the desert, even if it's a little bit like Waterloo Station at the same time. So today I'm going to share about my life, my communities, where I have to be a Christian. And it basically splits into 3 communities. There's my home and my family. Sometimes the hardest place. There's the school up the road. And for me, my community and where I work is also church. And that's quite a difficult thing for me. I've always come to church, I've always believed in church, I've always been part of a church. And to make church part of my job was actually quite difficult. Because all of you, all of us contribute to church. All of us work in the church, all of us are involved in the church. To make it work for me, I have to also allocate some hours to it. The not so interesting stuff. The accounts, I know some people apparently find that interesting, Lucy. The fact that I have to be at every event, whether I want to or not. And I generally have to be the last to leave. So it's kind of balancing, but I don't ever want church to ever just be a job to me. Because that would be very sad. So my three communities. I work roughly 25 hours at the school. But anyone who works in school is fully aware that it just eats into your life. You feel like you've sold your soul. You can't kind of keep it in this little box, even if you've got somewhere else to be. And I roughly give 20 working hours to church as well. But that involves things like running a football club for the school. Includes things like food bank. It sometimes includes cleaning. Although we're beginning to get a bit of a team. Thank you, Leanne, Laura, Paula. It's not something that comes naturally to me. So, before I talk about what I do, and before we think about what we do, I think it's really important to think about who we are before what we do. We are sons and daughters of God. The God who made the whole universe, who flung the stars into space, holds us in the palm of his hand. God loved us so much that he sent his own son to die for us. We are special to him. We cannot earn his love. He loved us while we were still far away from him. The verse said he loved us while we were still sinners. I kind of find that can be a bit separatist. He loved us before we knew him. And he covers our sin with his grace. Anything we do should be as a response to that. One of my favourite verses simply says, we love because he first loved us. It's important to hold on to who we are and why we do things. We can get lost in this world, pulled around, dragged into things we don't want to do, behaving in a way we might not want to behave, seeing things we might not want to see, being part of things we don't want to be part of. And one of the challenges that I face in school is being nice all the time. And I really mean all the time. because they are watching me. 30 staff are watching me. 200 children are watching me. And I need God in me to be nice all of the time. Some of the time. Any of the time. My inspirational verse comes from Matthew chapter 5, verse 14 to 16. It says, you, meaning us Christians, we are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand. And it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. It's kind of nice that people think I'm a nice person. At school, they do. They do think I'm calm and nice and reliable and all of those things. But actually, it's more important that they see what I do and think, wow, she's a Christian. That's what makes the difference. I wasn't just born tolerant. I had a nickname as a child, it was Tiger. Work it out. So the staff at school know I'm a Christian, and sometimes I do get to talk about it.